and welcome to Biz RoundUp. I'm Tamiru Nimsal, and we at Art Television bring you a collection of business highlights. Let's have a look at the headlines. Colombo Consumer Price Index shows decrease in year-on-year inflation to 5.9% in February. Head of China Communications Construction Company calls on the President. Sri Lanka draws high attention at the Dubai International Boat Show. News in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe emphasized the necessity of implementing a new legal framework to modernize Sri Lanka's economy. The President said this during his keynote address at the What's New dialogue on legal reforms with young legal professionals initiated by the Presidential Secretariat held in Colombo recently. President Wickremesinghe revealed that in the past 14 months, the Parliament has passed 42 new laws aimed at facilitating the country's economic transformation. He stressed the importance of passing an additional 62 laws, emphasizing that if this cannot be achieved in the current session, the bills will be reintroduced in subsequent sessions for approval. The President also launched the What's New website, which serves as a social media tool for youth to present suggestions and ideas for legal reforms crucial for Sri Lanka's development. The President also outlined anticipated acts such as Public Finance Management Act, Public Debt Management Act, Agricultural Modernization Act, and Economic Transformation Act. Moreover, plans include the establishment of a new economic commission to oversee economic activities and international trade, replacing the current Board of Investments. The President also emphasized the importance of legislation related to tourism, climate change, environmental protection, and the preservation of natural reserves. Plans also entail the dissolution of the Department of Commerce and the establishment of new international trade centers. The Sri Lanka Purchasing Managers Index for Construction indicates an expansion in construction activities in January 2024, with the total activity index reaching an index value of 52.9. This marks the first time since January 2022 that the index has exceeded the neutral threshold, according to the data released by the central bank. The expansion in construction activities is attributed to the availability of new construction work, with some suspended projects recommencing on a limited scale during the month. New orders also increased compared to the previous month, with respondents noticing higher availability of both foreign-funded projects and privately funded local projects. However, employment in the construction sector continued to contract, albeit at a slower rate in January. Despite the expansion in activity, there was a decline in employment. The quantity of purchases rebounded in January in line with the increases in total activity and new orders. However, respondents highlighted increases in material price mainly due to the impact of amendments made to the value-added tax. Suppliers' delivery time also remained lengthened during the month. In February 2024, the headline inflation measured by the year-on-year change in the Colombo Consumer Price Index decreased to 5.9% from 6.4% in January, according to the Central Bank of Sri Lanka.
The CBSR reported that food inflation increased slightly to 3.5% in February from 3.3% in January. Conversely, non-food inflation decelerated to 7% in February from 7.9% in January. February also recorded a decrease of -0.05%, attributed to a combined effect of price decrease of 0.67% observed in the food category and price increases of 0.62% observed in the non-food category. Core inflation, which reflects the underlying inflation in the economy, increased to 2.28% in February from 2.2% in January 2024. The central bank noted that inflation is expected to remain above the target in the near term, primarily driven by recent tax adjustments. However, it anticipates inflation to stabilize around the targeted level of 5% over time, supported by well-anchored inflation expectations and appropriate policy measures.
The Sri Lanka Export Development Board, in collaboration with the Sri Lanka Embassy in the UAE and the Sri Lanka Consulate General in Dubai, organized Sri Lanka's participation at the 30th edition of the Dubai International Boat Show. The boat show was held in Dubai, UAE from February 28 to March 3rd. The boat and shipbuilding sector has been identified as an emerging export sector for Sri Lanka, offering a wide range of products and services to the international market. The increasing global demand for boats for various purposes such as fishing, industrial, commercial, and leisure presents significant opportunities due to its strategic location and trainable workforce. The government has initiated efforts to strengthen the marketing, promotion, and branding initiatives of the industry to enhance its national and international recognition. The EDB has launched several promotional programs including organizing the Boat and Marine Show Sri Lanka and participating in the Genova Boat Show in Italy and the Düsseldorf Boat Show in Germany. The EDB organized the country pavilion at the Dubai International Boat Show to enhance the international visibility of Sri Lanka's boat building and marine industry. Three Sri Lankan boat builders, exporters, showcased their products at the premier show to explore avenues for developing and promoting the Sri Lanka boat building industry. Stay tuned. We will return after the short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. A delegation from China Communications Construction Company, led by Chairman Wang Tongju, met with President Ranil Wickremesinghe to discuss their investments in Sri Lanka, particularly in the Port City Colombo project recently.
The company has already invested $1.4 billion in the Port City Colombo project. During the meeting, Chairman Wang Tongju expressed commitment to further accelerate the construction and development of the port city and to enhance global promotional efforts for the project. In addition, CCCC plans to invest approximately $300 million for the infrastructure development of Phase 2 of the project, with plans to commence this investment in June. Chairman Wang Tongju also requested President Wickremesinghe to provide CCCC with more opportunities in Sri Lanka's transportation, urban development, energy and water facilities sectors. Ranked at 60 on the Fortune Global 500 list with a revenue of $130.664 billion, CCCC is a significant player in the global construction industry.
The deadline for expressing interest in state-run Sri Lankan Airlines has been extended till the 22nd of April, moving from the initial deadline of 5th of March. The timeline for submitting final bids from qualified investors has also been postponed to August 2024, originally scheduled for May. The indicative timeline for cabinet approval of any scale agreement has also been pushed back to September, previously set for June. No specific reason was provided for the extension, but it coincides closely with election time, which may have influenced the decision. Additionally, the selection of pre-qualified bidders is now scheduled for May 2024 instead of March, and bidder one-to-one meetings are planned for June. A global exchange workshop on climate action commenced in Colombo, Sri Lanka, gathering representatives from 16 countries across Africa, Europe, Central Asia, and the Arab state regions. The workshop facilitated the sharing of best practices, celebrating achievements, and exploring lessons learned in climate action efforts. Supported by the Government of Japan, the UNDP has been assisting countries since 2021 in translating their national climate pledges, known as nationally determined contributions, into tangible actions. Deputy Head of Mission at the Embassy of Japan, Katsuki Kotaro, welcomed the workshop's initiative, emphasizing commitment to supporting decarbonization and climate adaptation efforts. He highlighted the anticipated contributions of Japanese companies' technologies in facilitating green transformation and aiding Sri Lanka's economic recovery. Resident representative of UNDP, Asusa Kubota, highlighted the significance of the Climate Promise initiative in supporting Sri Lanka's ambition to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 14.5% by 2030. The workshop provides a platform for discussing various aspects of climate action, including just transition, sustainable agriculture practices, clean energy and transport, and adaptation. Chief Executive Officer of the Climate Change Office at the Presidential Secretariat, Anil Jasinghe, emphasized the importance of this initiative in accelerating Sri Lanka's journey towards climate action targets. Stay tuned. We will return after the short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. President Ranil Wickremesinghe directed relevant officials to spearhead the development of a national program that integrates both public and private sectors to drive successful agriculture modernization initiatives in Sri Lanka. The President said this during a progress review meeting of the Agriculture Modernization Program at the Presidential Secretariat recently.
President Wickremesinghe stressed the need to enlist support from both public and private agricultural research institutes as well as the university system to address the challenges. President Wickremesinghe also highlighted the importance of formulating a national program that aligns with government policies and can be efficiently executed at the grassroots level. He instructed relevant officials to promptly initiate the 26 related projects aimed at modernizing agriculture across the country. President Wickremesinghe further reiterated his vision to establish an agriculture export economy. Senior Professor Gamini Senanaik emphasized objectives to elevate agriculture to a commercial level and encourage land ownership among individuals engaged in agricultural activities. He proposed the establishment of a cabinet subcommittee chaired by the president to address obstacles and limitations in implementing the agriculture modernization program.
The legal dispute unfolding in New York between Hamilton Reserve Bank and the government of Sri Lanka has entered a new phase, with Sri Lanka requesting a further stay of proceedings for 5 months. In its memorandum of law supporting the motion for a further stay of proceedings, the government of Sri Lanka cited ongoing debt restructuring efforts that require additional time. The country argued that an additional 5-month stay would facilitate critical discussions with creditors and help ensure the success of the restructuring process. However, HRB opposes Sri Lanka's request for a second stay, arguing that the country has not provided sufficient factual basis for another delay. HRB expressed frustration over Sri Lanka's lack of transparency regarding the status of restructuring negotiations, highlighting the need for clarity and factual information. In response to Sri Lanka's motion, interveners Jesse Guzman, Ultimate Concrete LLC and Intercoastal Finance Limited filed a motion to intervene against HRB. These interveners, who claim to be beneficial owners of some of the bonds in question, seek damages from HRB for alleged misappropriation of funds. U.S. District Judge L. Dennis Court ordered that any opposition to the intervener's motion to be filed by March 15, 2024. Speaker of Parliament Mahindayapa Abeyewardena highlighted Sri Lanka's commitment to neutrality in its foreign policy, advocating for peace and the eradication of all forms of discrimination. He emphasized this stance while addressing the first meeting of the heads of parliaments of member countries of the group Friends of Neutrality. The meeting was hosted by the Parliament of Turkmenistan under the theme Role of Parliamentary Cooperation in Strengthening Peace and Dialogue recently. The meeting brought together speakers of parliaments from various countries and representatives of international and regional organizations. Speaker Abeyewardena emphasized that a democratic and representative political system is crucial not only for preventing unrest but also for restoring peace after conflicts. He also noted the increasing use of social media by parliaments and parliamentarians to raise public awareness, shape public opinion, promote inquiries, and call for evidence. The meeting featured addresses from heads of several parliaments, including those of Belarus, Ghana, Russia, Qatar, Morocco, and Kazakhstan. Additionally, video messages from the People's Republic of China and Uzbekistan emphasized the importance of parliamentary diplomacy in fostering dialogue between parliamentarians. Assistant Secretary General of Parliament of Sri Lanka, Hansa Beyratne, and Parliamentary Officer Ranil Buddika were also in attendance at the meeting. With that, we wind up for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. See you tomorrow with State of Business at 7:45 p.m. Take care and good night.